And on the AFC East here, the Bills have a 2-game lead on the Patriots, who just want back-to-back win. They just want to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. They have not been able to do that, string together those wins. Tomorrow, New England hosts the red-hot Cowboys. It's gonna be tough to do that. Last time the Cowboys beat the Patriots, Week 16 of 1996. Bill Belichick has never lost to Dallas, which is crazy, as New England's head coach. So he's 5-0. Things are a little bit different, though, now. We'll see if he can slow down one of the hottest quarterbacks in the game. Dak Prescott has just been playing lights out, and Davis Mills even got after Bill Belichick last week. So what do you expect here?
Yes, he did. I think that Dak Prescott is going to get after it, and he's going to go after it a lot. He currently has the second highest completion percentage in the NFL. He also has the top passer rating on third down. So even if they are stacking the box, looking for Tony Pollard or Zeke to run the ball, he's going to burn you. He is going to be able to make plays. And his 3 touchdown passes that he threw last week against the Giants were all against the blitz. And you're really seeing now the fruits of that relationship between Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott. That's allowing for more familiarity and more plays, and also game planning as well. So I think Dak Prescott's going to have a huge role in this one.
You know what Belichick's going to do? He's going to say, hey, you guy with the red sleeves, go get Dak Prescott. That would be Matthew Judon, who signed with the Patriots this offseason as a free agent and is already only 3 sacks away from his previous career high. The guy has been an absolute animal this year. They are playing him more than he ever played in Baltimore. He's on pace for over 900 snaps, which would blow away his previous best of 790 and change. He was making plays last week that were clutch, that were needed at the right time. He's not just getting sacks. He's getting sacks and making plays at the right time. Bill Belichick kind of did this with Stephon Gilmore. He took a good player and made him even better. He is doing that right now with Matthew Judon. He is a huge key to this game and to every game to come for New England.
Yeah, Judon is balling out, GZ. But I'm going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys defense and an old coach of mine in Dan Quinn. I mean, is he not the MVP, the most valuable person for the Dallas Cowboys thus far this season? I mean, his impact on this defense, I mean, just his presence and his scheme has allowed these guys to kind of go back to their natural positions. People don't realize that they went a 3-4 defense with Mike Nolan last year. Now they switch back over to a 4-3, which naturally that's what these guys, I think the body types that they have on this team, that's naturally what they play. A couple of metrics that show his value. Last year through 5 games, they averaged 36 points. This year, 23. Last year, they averaged allowing 156 rush yards a game. This year, only 80. They're balling. They're taking the ball away from opposing offenses. And if they keep this up with that offense that Will just talked about and Dak Prescott, they're going to be a pretty tough team to stop, especially when it comes January and February.
This team really is just so much more complete now with the defense rounding into form. I love watching wide receiver Trayvon Diggs. Listen, he's like one of the best DBs right now. Every single week he has a pick, this guy. He's been so good for them in the secondary for Dallas. He has 6 total interceptions, and we talked about it. We've talked about it all week. We've talked about it basically all season at this point, but he only had 3 interceptions last year. This was very deliberate for him. He really wanted to focus on getting those picks this year, because last year he got his hands on 14 footballs and he didn't have 14 picks. He said every time he touches the football, he wants to have a pick. So we know that he played college ball with Mac Jones, so there's a personal relationship there as well. He hated the fact that Nick Saban made him switch from wide receiver to DB, and look at him now, thriving as a cornerback. I'm so excited to see what he does in Foxborough. That's a fun game, sneaky fun game to watch coming up. It is here. Mic drop. Garafolo, what do you have?
Oh, Colleen, you are hyping this segment. I love it. Mic drop. Okay, I had Thursday Night Football.
Let's go. Come on, Al.
In Philadelphia with the Buccaneers. And I saw a couple of their front office guys were dressed extremely casually. And I was like, whoa, usually the front office guys, they're there. They got the best suits out of anybody in the place. But those guys were all casual. I didn't realize this. So Buccaneers general manager Jason Light and a couple members of his staff have been watching games from the sideline. Now, this started last year. It was a game against the Raiders. Because of COVID, the suites were shut, so the owners were sitting in the press box. There were no seats left for these guys, so Light and his crew said, hey, we're going to go watch it on the sideline. He hasn't been back since. Now, the Tampa Bay Times did a story on this back in January that I missed. I just went back and read it by Rick Strauss. Really good. Go check it out. Where Light talks about when he's down there on the sidelines, you can see a lot of the things that are going on. And my understanding is it's helped him understand the dynamics between the players. And when you've got a team like the Buccaneers, where you've got so many big personalities and so many all-pro players, you got to make sure that the dynamics are correct. So Light being down there and seeing the interaction during the game has really helped him get an understanding, not just for the talent on his roster, but also the chemistry that is so important with that team. Moving on. Cam Newton.
Really,
we mentioned it. Oh, I'm sorry, Colleen. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that just being on the sidelines, watching those games on Thursdays, you really do get so much more of the picture of what's going on. Like when we were in Seattle, Pete Carroll, he's out on the field. You miss so much when you're just getting the game feed. You don't get to see all of the players interacting, how fast it all is. It really kind of gets me when people complain about players missing assignments and stuff like that, because everything happens so fast and they don't have all of those angles and things because you really get to see what's going on the sideline.
Yeah. Most GMs prefer the separation to be watching from upstairs, but in Jason Light's case, it's really working for him. Cam Newton, we talked about this before the break. Now, nothing really imminent with Newton right now, but teams have had communication throughout the first couple of weeks of the season with him, and I am told that those teams have been told that Cam Newton is now vaccinated. That is according to sources to me and Ian Rappaport. Now, this was a big topic in the preseason. Remember, he had to be down for 5 days because he was he didn't keep up with the cadence of the testing, and there was a miscommunication there. Had he also been a close contact, not vaccinated, he would have had to go away. So a lot of folks are saying, did Newton's vaccination status factor into whether New England kept him and whether he would latch on elsewhere? Well, that's no longer a storyline here. Again, teams have been informed, Mike Robb, that Cam Newton is now vaccinated. So even if he came in, he wouldn't have to wait 5 days before he works out or joins your roster.
Business decisions, GZ, for Cam Newton. I knew it would happen. I know he gets tired of sitting out on the sideline and not being with a team. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Colleen?
We shall see. How about that mic drop? Good stuff, Jeezy. Let's now go to another great segment we love so much. It is time for Adam Rank to bring in the fantasy black belt. You can earn it too, everybody. Our fantasy sensei, Adam Rank, joins us live from his dojo. Okay, Rank, your expertise has been known to help managers win their fantasy fights all over the place. So kick us off with a running back here.
First of all, I didn't like that was a question, my dojo. But anyways, let's start with Javonte Williams. Every year in this dojo, there is a guy sitting at the back of the bench who you just don't know. He's not playing in your starting lineup, and you don't know if he's going to be able to come in and contribute. But this is going to be the time for Javonte Williams to establish himself with the Denver Broncos. Of course, he's been a huge fan of Kyle Brandt, who appeared on Angry Runs. And now we're starting to see him get more involved in the passing offense. He's had at least 3 receptions in the last 3 games, excuse me. He's got a great matchup this week against the Las Vegas Raiders. So Javonte Williams needs to be in your lineup this week if you want to show no mercy.
No mercy. Sensei, give us a wide out with some great footwork and some quick strike.